One of the greatest desires of any generation is to achieve speed, whether speed in technology, speed in infrastructure, education, speed in finance. Speed has been one of the advantages that humans have experienced in all generations. Many people have emerged who have even broken records for being the fastest men alive. I want to show you 6 of the fastest men of all time. Number 6 is even more interesting because he's nowhere within the reach of Google. As a matter of fact, I had to do my research to find out if this man was included among the fastest men that ever lived, and his name wasn't there. I believe that science and present-day research doesn't understand and can't even fathom how deep and how unique the gift of this man was. I'm talking about a man who outran a presidential convoy. I'm talking about a man that ran so fast that he was able to buy time. This is the insane story of the fastest man of all time. Speed is among the purest expressions of human power, discipline, and glory. For centuries, men have pushed their bodies to the very edge of this possibility. Men have stretched their bodies beyond the norms and the normal capacity. But there are few men that stood out in history, and today we journey and explore the fastest men of all times. We have to go back in history to 1936 at the Berlin Olympics, a man called Jesse Owens. Now, this man whose speed wasn't just athletic, it was political. In the summer of 1936, at the Berlin Olympics, Jesse Owens, an African-American sprinter, stunned the world by winning 4 gold medals, 200 meters long jump, and 4 times 100-meter relay. Owens ran 100 meters in just 10.3 seconds. This had never happened before. That may not sound like a record-breaking speed, but back in those days, this was unusual. This was literally athletic dominance. This literally shattered Adolf Hitler's version of Aryan supremacy, making Owens one of the most iconic sprinters in history. This wasn't just athletics. This was a strive for political stability. Number 2, we have a man called Carl Lewis, 1984 to 1996. Let's go into the 1980s. Carl Lewis, often called the king of track and field, became the face of sprinting and dominance. At the 1984 Los Angeles Olympics, Lewis matched Owens' feat, winning 4 gold medals. His 100 meters best was 9.86 seconds, which was set in 1991 in Tokyo, making him one of the first sprinters to push below the 9.90 seconds. Lewis wasn't just fast, he was consistent. He held the 100 meters world record from 1988 right to 1991. And if you think that this is crazy enough, wait until we get to number 6, fastest man of all times. You won't find him on Google. Number 3, we have Maurice Greene, who held the record from 1999 to 2001. The late 90s literally belonged to Maurice Greene, the American powerhouse. On June 16, 1999, in Athens, Greece, Greene set a new world record of running 100 meters in 9.79 seconds. For 2 years, no man on earth was faster. Greene was also a 5-time world champion, proving not just speed but dominance on a global stage. You can check the reference in the World Athletics Records 1999 in Athens. The next man is even more profound. Number 4, we have a man called Asafa Powell, who held the record from 2005 right to 2008. This was a Jamaican revolutionary before one of the most iconic speed wonders of our contemporary days, Usain Bolt. Right before Usain Bolt came to prominence, Asafa Powell held the record. On June 14, 2005 in Athens, Powell broke Greene's record, clocking 9.77 seconds in a 100-meter race. Over the next 3 years, he would break the world record multiple times, lowering it to 9.74 seconds in 2007. Powell's consistency at sub 10 performance set the stage for the greatest sprinter of all times. Reference for this is BBC Sport Archives, June 2005 to September 2007. Number 5 on the list is the one that we all know, the fastest man in history, but of course, he's not the fastest man in history. This is Usain Bolt, who held the record from 2008 right to 2016. At the Beijing Olympics in 2008, a tall Jamaican named Usain Bolt redefined human speed. He not only won the 100 meters in 9.69 seconds, but he celebrated before crossing the line and still broke the record. This was historic, this was iconic, this had never happened before. A year later, at the 2009 World Championship in Berlin, Bolt did the impossible. He ran 100 meters in just 9.58 seconds and the 200 meters in 19.19 seconds, both world records that still stand today, more than a decade later. No one has ever broken those particular records. Usain Bolt beat human imagination by daring the impossible. But the next on our list is even more jaw-breaking. He wasn't a professional athlete, neither did he get into any official competition. He was just a man that believed in a superior power, and this power came upon him and made him overtake a presidential convoy on full speed. This is the fastest man that ever lived. He's no other person but Elijah. Elijah is a biblical enigma, a colossus, and one that must be studied by science and anyone who is interested in understanding the dynamics of human possibilities. A man whose body was stretched beyond capacity, and he did the unusual and dared the impossible. These other athletes that we just mentioned, right down to Usain Bolt, did the impossible. They were not in competition with machines, neither were they in competition with cars or other species. But this man, Elijah, did the impossible. This man's speed broke every human possibility. He's found in the Bible in 1 Kings chapter 18. Unlike other people whose speed is measured in seconds and minutes, this man's speed was measured in his ability to outrun the king of his days. 1 Kings chapter 18 verse 44, and it came to pass at the seventh time that he said, behold, there ariseth a little cloud out of the sea like a man's hand. And he said, go up and say to Ahab, prepare thy chariot and go thee down, that the rain stop thee not. Verse 5, and it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heavens were black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain, and Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. Verse 46, and the hand of God came upon Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. This is a man who outran a presidential convoy at high speed. Let me give you a background story of what happened. Elijah was a prophet of God, one of the most classical prophets of all times. Elijah commanded that there will be no rain by his words, and this was in 1 Kings 17 at the first appearance of Elijah. Many years later, Elijah decides to change that prophetic word. He says that the rain shall fall, and he began to pray and pray. And in 1 Kings 18, he sent his servant to check for a sign of the rain, and the servant saw that rain is coming. And he tells him, tell Ahab, that's the president of that time, the king of that time, to run with his chariot, or else rain will stop him along the way. To our great surprise, something even more crazy happens. Why Ahab begins to run so that he will overtake the rain. God's hand comes upon Elijah, and Elijah overtakes both the high-speed chariots of the king of his days, and he even overtook the rain and arrived before the king. People of God, one thing that speed does is to buy time. We have the speed of light, we have the speed of the mind, and we have the speed of God. You arrive places faster based on the medium of transportation that you use. If you use a car and I use a plane, I would definitely arrive before you. If they use charms and they use intelligence and they use money, but you use the hand of God, you will definitely arrive at your location before them. So next time you marvel at human speed, remember that the fastest man, as recorded by Google, may be Usain Bolt, but beyond the understanding of time and the dynamics of research, the fastest man that ever lived is the man Elijah, who was powered by the very strength of the Almighty God. Consider to like, share, and subscribe. King speaking.